Power supply shootout. Right now, I have 9 different power supplies that I have tested. I've tried out. I'm going to share with you the pros and cons, dimensions, sizes, weights, things that you may not have thought about to help you in your planning phase. If you are thinking about purchasing a power supply for your pedal board, this video is going to help you. Let me show you the lineup. First, we have the Walrus Audio Canvas Power. This is brand new. It's amazing. Can't wait to show you that one. I have one of the new mono power supplies right there. Those things are also great. Rock Board, ISO Power Block 12 IEC. Over here, the ISO Power Block V6. What's the difference? Does it matter? Do you care? Right here is an inexpensive, like rechargeable one, so you don't have to be plugged in. Then I have the Strymon Ojai right here powering my dual Tonex board. Then I have this Van Gogh pedal board that is powered, self-powered pedal board, number 1. Self-powered pedal board, number 2, the Legato. Boom, right there. And then that's 8. One more, I forgot to get it out, but it's what's powering this HX Stomp mini board right here. I will show you that in a minute. All right, let's just go in order. The Canvas Power. This thing is unique, and I wanted to tell you up front because it's amazing. I will say, real quick while I'm getting this out, I didn't pay for any of this stuff. So they're all sponsored by their companies, except the Strymon. I didn't pay for that, but a pedal board build that I did where a customer paid for it, he bought too many, and he told me to keep it. So I didn't actually pay for that one either, but it wasn't sponsored by Strymon. The rest of these were given to me by the companies. So thank you, various companies, starting with Walrus Audio, for sending me this brand new one. This is amazing because of one special feature. It's got these 3 ports right here, which is great, 500 milliamps each, but this one right here is 3 amps. That is enough to power the HX Stomp with its unique requirements. It's enough to power the Quad Cortex and several other things like the Tonex pedals, all in this little thing right here. And it's pretty and I love it. Okay. Downside to this, which is going to be pros and cons of several of these, thing to think about with this size, this thin profile here, is that it is not IEC cable input. Doesn't have one. You have to have a separate power block. So you're like, oh, that's what I need. I just need a small little power supply. Well, you also have to mount this guy. I'm not even gonna take it out because I got it nice and packaged. But this right here, and on the end, boom, the IEC cable adapter thing. So you have to have that. Now, if you don't want to mount that on your pedal board and you just want that hanging out the side to keep things nice and clean, that's a possibility. I like to mount these so that I could just plug in my IEC cable and I don't have multiple things leading to my pedal board. Just something to be aware of. One thing to remember, like I said, it's very, very thin. So it'll fit under very thin pedal boards. Let me measure it real quick. This one here is 5 1/4 long by 2 1/8 girth. Thickness is 1 inch. That's fantastic. Walrus Audio, with this new lineup, you've done a great job. All right, on to the next. I want to say a big thank you to this company for sending me tons of stuff. This is Rockboard. Man, they have hooked me up. And these power supplies I'm about to show you, I was not able to use on my last pedal board build. If you haven't seen that, there's a playlist or something. It's like 9 videos of my building my dream board, and I had to power it with the last power supply that I'm going to talk about in this video. So make sure you stay tuned to the end because I have some very important things about why that is important. But let me show you the 2 Rockboard power supplies. We have first the ISO Power Block 12 IEC. IEC, that sounds good. Because like I just said, I don't like having power supplies where the IEC junction is not built into the box itself. This thing is massive. It will power all kinds of things. Look how many inputs we have. The first 4 are 250 milliamp for like most of your drives and things that don't take up a lot of the milliamperage. Then you have 4 more at 500 milliamp. And then you have 4 more with 500 milliamp that have this 9 volt, 12 volt, 15 volt, 18 volt toggle switches that you can see right here. Very convenient to have. The other nice convenient thing is that, boom, there it is. IEC cable can be plugged directly into it. Let me tell you the measurement of this. This one is 7 5/8 long, 3 7/16 wide, and the depth is 1 3/8, so 3/8 thicker than the Walrus Audio. I was going to use this to power that big pedal board over there that is sponsored by Rockboard, and I thought, great, so I'm gonna have all these. I needed a few more, so I ordered their other power supply. Let me get it for you. The ISO Power Block 6, the V6, vroom. Look at this little guy, okay? Nice and small. It has 500 milliamp outputs, but it also has this unique through, the 24 volt through that is very convenient when you are wanting to power with multiple power supplies to power a big pedal board. So you have your 18 volt, oh, I said 24 volt. No, 18 volt, 2 amp input and output. So you can daisy chain these. So I got this to go with this. But here's the problem. This is why I couldn't use it on the board. There's no 18 volt out. I mean, technically there's an 18 volt out, but it's 500 milliamp. I need 18 volt, 2 amp. So I was hoping to use this as an extension, you know, like some of the companies do, but it didn't work. And I asked them and there's like, no, there's no way that would work. You would just have to have 2, you know, cables. And I could have done that, but I didn't want to. I want one IEC cable to power the whole pedal board. This one here is 4 3/4 long, 2 3/4 girth, 1 inch thick. So nice and small. You can check their website for other power supplies too that you can daisy chain. There you go. Thank you, Rockboard, for sponsoring these power supplies. The third one, and this is one that I keep on my floor over here to power random things for videos like this. And this is the new line of mono power supplies. It's got a unique shape that fits in unique places, which I really love. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 500 milliamp isolated power out. Also a convenient little USB power out right here. One downside is that it's for this size, it does not have the IEC, but this one has 24 volt in and 24 volt out. So you can also use multiple power supplies, and this will fit in places that some of the other ones won't, because these dimensions are a lot different. It's unique. This is 1 inch thick. Very nice. 2 1/4, actually 2 3/16 girth, and the length is 1 foot, almost 5/16, almost 3/8, a little over 1/4. And then once you put your dual lock, it might be a little thicker, but great power supply. I use this one all the time, like I said, over there on the floor. Mono makes great stuff. I have my other HX Stomp mini board on a mono pedal board, and it will only allow for a 1 inch thick power supply. So if you like that pedal board, the Mono Light Plus, or you have a similar board that doesn't have a lot of clearance underneath, you need to look at one of these low profile power supplies. While I'm getting this next one out, let me just give you a bonus one, a 10th power supply that I have used, but I don't have it here in the building to show you, but I have made videos about it in the past. And that is True Tone, the CS6, the CS12. Those things are fantastic. They power things really well, and they're pretty inexpensive compared to some of the more expensive power supplies. So just as a bonus, try out the True Tone stuff. I can't get any footage of it because I don't have it here, but I really like it. This Van Gogh power supply is rechargeable. So it's like a battery. So you can just power it on. Look, it's still charged from the last time. It has all of these outputs here. They are all 100, except this last one is 300 milliamp down here on the end. I would use this not with big power hungry pedals, obviously all 100 milliamp. If you were about to power just a few drives that are going into a real amp and just wanted a wireless pedal board, say you're playing a gig and you just want less wires, this would probably be a good option for you. But if you have like digital pedals that it'll probably bring some noise. This is a budget item right here, but it's pretty good. It's overall, the body is like 6 7/8, 3 inches that way, and thickness is only, wow, that is like less than 7/8. What is that? 11/16 thick. So this thing is pretty unique. It's got a couple USB here, regular USB, USB-C, the things you want. So thank you, Van Gogh, for sending this. Since I'm talking about Van Gogh, let me go ahead and get that other pedal board. This is the second one that they have sent me, and they did some upgrades to it. Last time, there wasn't enough milliamps, and you can read them right in here what they have, but there's a slew of inputs there that you can see. See that? And then you can just put your pedals on here, tuck the wires underneath. It's a really good idea. I put some pedals on here and I was getting some noise again out of some of the power hungry pedals. So I had hooked up like an HX Stomp, a Tonex pedal. Some of it started wigging out. So just being upfront, but if you don't have those kind of pedals, especially if you're just running into an amp or a different amp modeler like the Walrus Audio ACS1, this might be a good option for you. It doesn't have a lot of like things that would be noisy. And if you just have some drives and delay, reverb, simple stuff, this pedal board might be a good option. It has 4 500 milliamp 9-volt outputs and 6 300 milliamp. And then it has a couple special ones here on the end, 12 volt 500 milliamp and 18 volt at 300 milliamp. So know that. It's also got these little feet that pop out so you can like raise your board up a little bit. And it has a bunch of cool colors, and as you strum it, like as current is flowing through it, the lights strobe and do all kinds of cool things. So thank you, Van Gogh, for sending this. All right, my Tonex board. I absolutely love this pedal board. Love it. And I wouldn't want to trust just anything to power this. So I went with the industry standard Strymon Oh-Hi. This thing is a little guy, but I've used it on several projects because yes, it's not IEC. So you got to put this on it so you can take up more room. But this thing's nice and thin. It's even thinner than the power supply itself. You have 500 milliamp out. That's fantastic. But on the other side, you still have the 24 volt through. So you could daisy chain these, and that's a great way to go. A little more expensive, but you know what you're getting with Strymon. No noise, no nothing, no problems. Thank you, Strymon. No, Strymon didn't send me that. That was the one that a friend gave me. This little guy right here, just wanted to mention him because I never ended up making a video because it was noisy. This pedal board is a good idea, but for the pedals I was trying, which were the 2 Tonex ones, it was just, I just had this high pitched sound that was coming through the video, and I'm like, and I just stopped using it. And so they wanted me to try it again with some other things. I haven't had time, you know, I got a bunch of things to do, but I just want to let you know that it might be a good option for you if you have no money and you want to buy it on Amazon and try it, because Amazon free returns. It might be good for you to try and work out with the pedals that you may have if they're not super power hungry. So on the front here, we have 7 9-volt, we have a 12 volt and an 18 volt. We also have something to charge your phone right there. Very nice, very thin. You could fit several cool little pedals on this thing. So this is a great idea. It just didn't work out for me and the thing I was trying to do, and I haven't had time to try it with anything else. Like I said, free returns, try it, it's quick. I think it was like 40 bucks, maybe. I don't know. I'll leave all the links down below. The final one, are you ready? The first pedal board, the one that started it all on this channel, the MIDI blacked out HX Stomp mini board. This is still probably my favorite thing. Ooh, and it's nice and warm because it's been plugged in. Have it plugged into my rack over there so I can just pull it up and play it anytime I want. But the power supply I haven't talked about yet, that's probably one of my favorites. But there's one thing to consider, and I'll get to that in a second, is the Chalks DC7, or just Chalks in general. On this, my massive pedal board that you may have seen, I have the DC7 and the 8, the Chalks 8, which is a big extension. So I was able to use all of the 7. I don't even think I used all of the 8, but you can have, and they also have the Chalks 4. So you can just all these little extenders, and they work great, high quality, never any problems, never any noise. All of them have these little toggleable little things here to make sure you get what you want, whether that be 9 volt, 12 volt, 15 volt, or 18 volt. And it shows you how many milliamps that requires. If you want to power the HX Stomp with this, you know, special power requirements for the HX Stomp, you just have to get a current doubler, which is something you got to do on all of these, but it's not something you have to do, I think, on all of these, but it's not something you have to do on the True Tone CS6. As long as you're not like going over capacity, you don't have to use a current doubler. It'll just send everything it needs through one port if you need to. The thing to know about this power supply right here is it's not the regular 2.1 millimeter barrel that you are used to. It is, they have these RCA, get my face out of there, the RCA cables, okay? So just know that. If you have a bunch of power cables left over and you think you'll use it with the Chalks, no, you have to use the ones that come with it. and they are RCA cables on one end, and then the regular 2.1 millimeter on the other end. So Chalks is probably my favorite. They also sponsored the DC7 and the Chalks 8 and a Chalks 4, I think, for that big project over there. So thank you, Chalks. Thank you to all the companies. Links will be down below. I hope this helped you. If there's a question that you, oh, I didn't do the dimensions. Get these dimensions for you real quick. On this Chalks DC7, it is 6 1/4 by 3 1/2, and it's 1 inch. I know because it fits underneath this mono board really well, which is 1 inch. Perfect. Like I said, I'll leave the links down below. If you have any specific questions that I didn't think about answering in this video, let me know down in the comments. I would appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Goodbye.